Hello? We need to talk. Yeah, I think we do. You know, a lot of mistakes were made, but I would really like to work through them with you. I would also like to work through them. Well, Elle and I have a therapist appointment later today. Would you like to come with us? Yeah, I'll be there. Hello? Crazy weather we're having, huh? Yeah. Hi, everybody. I am ready to see you in my office now. So, what brings you in today? Um, I would like to speak up first and start from the beginning, if that's okay. Okay? Is that okay with you? Sure. So, I don't know how much they have told you, but I would really like you to have the full picture here, and I would really like to speak without interruptions, and I promise I will give you the same on my end. Okay, so this whole thing started about 12 years ago. My dad and Elle got married 12 years ago after knowing each other for only 2 months. During that time, my dad was dating another woman who had stage 4 breast cancer, and he told me he didn't want to cause extra stress on that woman, so he didn't tell her that he moved on to Elle. But also, he still didn't tell Elle he was technically with this other woman. He came to me and asked me and my sister to not tell Elle about it, and we agreed at first. And then after him and Elle got married, I received a text from that woman asking where my dad was, and I told my dad that now would be a good time to come clean to Elle. He wouldn't do it, so I did it over the phone while I was at work, and she hung up on me. Later that night, I got home and was confronted by Elle and Dad. They set up a meeting in the kitchen to discuss what it was said. Elle told me that if you don't think I don't know what's going on in my own home, you are mistaken. And after she said that, a fight broke out between us, and I ended up moving to my boyfriend's house at the time. And I just want to clarify that I know I had my own issues back then. My boyfriend at the time was cheating on me, and that's why I really wanted my dad to tell the truth to Elle, because I was in the middle of something like that myself. And so I acknowledged that I could have handled things better and stuff like that, but I felt very betrayed by my father. Okay. So fast forward 2 to 3 years later, I'm not with that boyfriend anymore. I'm with my new boyfriend, who actually encourages me to start a relationship back up with my dad and start healing things. At the same time, one of his ex-girlfriends, not the same one that had cancer, but a different one, messages me. It was a weird thing. It's a long story. I'm trying to make this as short as possible, but basically Facebook glitched and didn't send me the message for like a year or two. And the girl was saying how her and my dad were having an affair, and she didn't realize that he was married. And then she sent a letter to Elle, and that's not what happened. We're supposed to be talking about the wedding. Remember, Elle, she is talking. She will give you a chance to talk. And she did say that she wanted the bigger picture of everything so I could better understand it. Go on. So anyway, that happened, and my sister also received a message from that ex. She was kicked out of the house. I'm not going to go into details about my sister and their relationship because I wasn't there, so I'm not going to even touch on that. They would have to have her come and speak on that. But yeah, basically, we did try to mend our relationship, and it was going good for a while. I did notice a change in my dad. However, I just chalked it up to being about like this whole situation. Like, he seemed not himself. He seemed like he was always guarded, wasn't allowed to be himself. And I just chalked it up to Elle not trusting him because of the whole scandal thing. Okay. And the reason why I'm saying all of this is because it started to affect me and my sister and everybody else. But I will speak on mine. So, how it started affecting us is like, for example, when a couple years later after we kind of mended and worked on our relationship, I posted a video about it was a funny video about me and Doritos, but in the video it was my mom and my dad on a motorcycle together when I was really little, and they're riding off, and the whole point was, oh, my parents are gone, now can we get into the Doritos? Well, my dad calls me and tells me that I have to take it down because it's making Elle feel uncomfortable because it shows my mom and dad on a motorcycle together. And that wasn't the point of the video. I talked to Elle about it, and I just thought it's not fair to me because my dad had a whole life before her, and that's my mom. It's not something that I should be taking down from my own Facebook profile. But I ended up doing it because I didn't want to cause issues. Like, we were just recovering from the past, so I took it down. So things started happening like that started making me kind of take a step back, walk on eggshells a little bit more of what I can and cannot say in front of Elle because I thought that she was really sensitive. And fast forward a few more years later, things are okay. But I decide to book my dad and Elle on an Alaskan cruise and to go with me and my husband. And once it gets almost to it, my dad decides to postpone because he's stressed out with work, which is understandable. I told him we could. So we did. And then Bernard proposed to me, and so we started wedding planning. And I love cruising, so I wanted to book a cruise for my wedding. I told them about it. Elle made a comment to me saying that she wishes that we were still going to Alaska instead of the Bermuda trip, which I thought was weird, but I just put it in the back end and I said, we can still go on that. We'll just have to postpone it a little bit more. But then wedding planning started happening, and my dad got diagnosed with cancer, which we were there for him through all of that. And afterwards, they told us that they weren't going to be able to go on the cruise, but then a couple months later, they booked their own cruise. And that really hurt me. And that was the first red flag, but I kept it cool. And then we started wedding planning, and when it came to the rehearsal, my dad and Elle showed up, and they would not talk to me. Turns out I found out by my dad on the phone the next morning on my wedding morning that they found out that I had said that I hated Elle, which I never said, and we fought on the phone. And then my dad didn't show up to my wedding. And also at the rehearsal, like, my dad would not stand by my mom, and I think it's because it's the whole jealousy thing / insecure thing going on with Elle. So all of this to say that I really think this whole thing stems from an insecurity between her and my dad, and they're making it more pushed on us. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than, like, I feel like we're being dragged into their relationship issues when it's not my fault that you don't trust my dad. And that's how I feel about it. I just am sick and tired of it, and I think that they need to work on themselves. Okay. Thank you for your side of the story. You really have some introspection, and I can tell that you are self-aware. Thank you. I really do try to admit when I'm wrong, and I really hope that others can do the same today. Where did they go? What? I really needed to talk to them. Please help me. Hello? Hello? It was all a dream.